5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We learned this week that the gazillions amassed by Amazon proprietor and reason your new vacuum cleaner is in your neighbour's hedge, Jeff Bezos, had enabled him to enact what must rank high among the two most common human fantasies, i.e. the launching of one's paramour and or an annoying pop singer into space.
Lift off for a group of 6 women, including a pop star, a TV presenter and a scientist.
But then they came back. You can't have everything, not even, apparently, if you own the shop which sells everything. We learned, however, that the whole enterprise had not been a complete waste of whatever amount Bezos set light to in underwriting this point-free joyride, for we learned that dispatching thinkers of the caliber of Harley's in Hawaii hitmaker Katy Perry to the Carmen line had yielded philosophical insights easily fit to be rendered in florid typeface and pinned up as a poster on the wall of the sort of cafe that boasts deliberately mismatched furniture and a menu with smiley faces in the dots over the eyes.
We weren't just taking up space, we were making space.
Which makes a change from wasting it, am I right? We learned, however, that Bezos was not the only American mogul frittering his fortune on dubious simulacra of the real thing. We learned that some digging had been done into the provenance of the mysterious array of gold trophies which has descended upon US President Donald Trump's Oval Office mantelpiece in recent weeks, and that they are not, as had been widely and understandably assumed, self-awarded golf cups and Nobel Peace Prizes, but gilded tchotchkes which give every appearance of having been sourced from
China.
Specifically from Guangzhou Home Max Decorative Material Limited, which knocks this stuff out on Alibaba as high-density home decoration polyurethane appliques ornament PU foam veneer accessories at about $5 a go.
Minimum order 50 pieces.
We learned, however, or at least gleaned, that their presence in the Oval Office now means that Trump got in ahead of the tariffs, out of the deal right there. But we learned that they were dismally appropriately bogus background to a conclave of the kind of hapless demagogues who can't even at least get the trains to run on time, for we learned that being a preening authoritarian is less straightforward than it may appear.
I can't wait to see where this goes.
Okay. Tell me more.
Let's see where this goes.
We learned that neither President Trump nor his Salvadoran counterpart, President Nayib Bukele, are able between them to put one guy on a plane.
Can President Bukele weigh in on this? Do you plan to return him?
Well, I'm supposed to have suggested that I smuggle terrorists into the United States, right?
We learned that the one guy in question, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who even the US administration admits was shipped to its Central American gulag as a consequence of administrative error, would not be coming home, as we learned that the US administration was determined to double down on its evidence. And mathematicians among our listeners will know what you get when you double nothing.
So he went back to his home country, where he will face consequences for his gang affiliation and his engagement in human trafficking. I'm not sure what is so difficult about this for everyone in the media to understand.
We are in the media maybe not as smart as Caroline Levitt, but we do understand that in the absence of any due process, Mr. Garcia has been engaged in human trafficking only inasmuch as he is a victim of it. But we learned that one of 21st century American conservatism's foremost thinkers, this is tragically a statement of fact, i.e. querulous Fox News mannequin Jesse Waters, had uncovered, with a flourish worthy of Columbo, the proof.
Garcia's a Bulls fan, but he's from El Salvador, and he lives in Maryland, not Chicago. The Bulls lost 60 games in 2019, so why the hat? Can Garcia name anyone on the team? Anyone on any Bulls team besides Jordan? Everyone from El Salvador knows what it means when you wear a Bulls hat.
Yes, we learned that anybody who supports any sports team based outside the immediate jurisdiction in which they were raised or now live is prima facie a dangerous criminal, and look therefore forward to the deportation of the hefty and noisy contingent of Manchester United and Liverpool supporters at large in London and indeed the wider home counties. This is not a sarcastic absurdism, we're genuinely into it. And cue big-haired, large-bloused, bad in the 80s lone hit irritants flock of seagulls. Because, sticking with the subject of testy marauders apparently wrecking institutions for the sake of it, for those struggling to keep up, this is a wry segue calling back to President Trump.
I get it now.
Righto, carry on.
We learned of the anarchist tendencies of the seagull. Yes, we learned that one such creature, so not actually a flock, but whatever, had forced the temporary closure of the Blavatnik School of Government at Oxford University by breaking a panel in its expensive glass roof by repeatedly dropping a rock on it. Please enjoy this verite audio of a seagull repeatedly dropping a rock on the expensive glass roof of the Blavatnik School of Government at Oxford University. We learned that boffins prevailed upon to explain this apparently gratuitous vandalism were insistent that it was consistent with such observed seagull behaviour as banging shellfish against hard surfaces to get at the contents, and were therefore failing to consider that maybe this particular seabird was acting with malevolent intent, seabird with malevolent intent, right, and was therefore a turn for the worse. For Monocle Radio, I'm Andrew Mueller.